It's great that we have services such as this at JVS Human Services. James Willis, he's the Vice President for the Workforce Development and Rehabilitation over at JVS Human Services. Great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me this morning.
So I know that you guys have a new program for janitorial training. Can you fill us in? What is this and why did you develop it?
Sure. Well, to start off, it's actually not a new program. It's a program that JVS has offered in the Metro Detroit area going on 30 years now. However, over the course of the last year, we've really vamped up this program, providing janitorial skills training to individuals with disabilities with the huge need that we've seen across our region for increased cleaning due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Many employers, as a part of their kind of return to work policies, needed a level of cleaning and janitorial services that they didn't have previously. So we saw a huge need for talent that had specific skills around deep cleaning and had a talent pool, a disability talent pool that was eager and ready to work, but just didn't have that confidence and or background to jump right into those jobs. And that's really where the janitorial skills training program that we offer at our Detroit facility really kind of filled that gap in preparing job seekers with disabilities to fulfill these needed roles in the community.
So with that, James, can I ask, are you able to fill the positions because it does seem the need is so great right now?
We're doing really good. I will certainly say that our labor orders in terms of just numbers of openings certainly is surpassing our talent pool of people going through the program. So, and it's great for our job seekers. You know, for every individual who participates in the program, they're usually coming out of that program with 2 to 3 offers, which is a great position for folks with disabilities who previously really kind of struggled to break into the employment market previously.
You know, there's always a silver lining coming out of a crisis, and this may be one of them for some of your clients. So tell us more about the actual program. How long is it?
Sure. So it's an 8-week program, and we divide the program up into 2 different phases. So the first phase is kind of our basic skills training, where we're going through the basics of janitorial environmental skills activities, you know, the mixing of chemicals, the different kind of steps in cleaning a room where you're starting with certain surfaces and then moving to other surfaces, some of those safety measures and that kind of thing. And many of our job seekers after that 4-week program have enough skills and confidence to go out there and secure employment at that point. So some of our job seekers and some of these job seekers just generally have a need to get into employment. So after 4 weeks, as opposed to continuing on for that additional 4 weeks, or what we refer to the advanced program, they move straight into job placement or straight into a job. For those job seekers that are looking for something a little bit more advanced, they will continue for an additional 4 weeks, and that additional 4 weeks really dives into some of the more specialty cleaning, like specialty kind of floor cleaning using scrubbers, buffers, carpet cleaners. The other piece that we kind of embed into both our basic and our advanced programming is what we refer to as super skills. Some people refer to those as kind of social skills, but providing those job seekers with what to expect once they get to the workplace, you know, how to deal with that difficult coworker, you know, how to kind of deal with requesting time off, and just some of those skills that, you know, job seekers or workers that have been in the workplace for a long time kind of take for granted. But if you're a new job seeker, you know, initially making contact for the very first time, you know, in today's employment market, there's some things you need to know to be successful. And embedding those super skills into our training program, we have found really is useful, because that way our job seekers know what to expect, and the employers are getting an employee who is demonstrating those super skills or soft skills that are needed to be successful.
James Willis with us here on the MegaCast. He's the Vice President for the Workforce Development and Rehabilitation at JVS Human Services. And James, if I can ask you, COVID-19, do you have some some people in your program, some clients in your program who are hesitant to go into the workforce because of COVID-19.
Absolutely. Kind of going into kind of the pandemic, we were initially seeing, 10 to 20 different individuals, kind of entering our program. And we offer our program on a rolling basis. So every 8 weeks, another cohort starts up. And previous to the pandemic, we were seeing 10 to 15 to up as high as 20 individuals starting every 8 weeks. Throughout the pandemic, those numbers really went down. And again, like I said, despite kind of our referral numbers going down for people participating, there certainly was still kind of a need. We are very excited to, notice kind of an uptick in numbers. We're finding that individuals with disabilities and just the general public is starting to find a comfort with kind of re-engaging in the workplace, certainly with the incorporation of the vaccines and infection rates kind of going down. We're certainly seeing an increased number, and part of the reason why we're here today to kind of let people, individuals know that there are opportunities out there. And this is, one of the things we'd like to kind of mention related to janitorial, where it's one of those jobs that is not going anywhere. It's a very stable job, and it's one of those positions that boy, once you get yourself into that job situation and demonstrate to that employer that you're going to be what we refer to as MRD, motivated, reliable, and dependable. You present to the workplace with those three attributes. It's going to be a good partnership between that job seeker and the employer for a really long time.
So with that, also, James, we know that because there is an employee shortage right now, some employers are paying more. Is that the case in this arena as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing, from many of our job seekers, opportunities for signing bonuses, increased rates. So yeah, our job seekers are certainly in a good position right now with increased wages and those signing bonuses that are being made available. And it's kind of necessary. Like I said, when our job seekers complete our program and have that certificate of completion, like I said, they are interviewing with 2 to 3 employers and really having kind of their pick of the opportunities out there, which is awesome.
Yeah, because I would think if I'm an employer and I'm having someone come out of your program, it makes them more desirable to hire, more attractive as an employer. Now, are we talking about, are these jobs part-time, full-time? Do they come with benefits typically?
Sure. So it really kind of ranges. We are working with opportunities that range everything from part-time to full-time. Those full-time positions certainly kind of come with benefits. Some of the settings where those full-time positions are available, your hospital settings, many manufacturing kind of factory settings kind of offer full-time and benefits right from the very onset. But there's also that job seeker that is really looking for part-time. Some of our job seekers are still possibly, finishing up with some sort of training program, whether or not at school or kind of technical training. So they're just looking for something to kind of add to bring some additional income. So those part-time opportunities are really great for many of our job seekers as well.
And can I ask, does this program, do you have to have certain qualifications or to even be able to apply for your program? How does that side of the house work?
Sure. So we have a couple of different kind of referral sources or funding sources where people kind of come to the program. So our program is specifically focused on individuals with disabilities, and the disability populations that we work with include kind of a general disability population, and that's really any disability ranging from a mental health diagnosis to a developmental disability to even a physical disability of some type. So that's kind of our general kind of disability population that we work with. And then the other population that we work with is a veteran population who has a service-related disability as well. So these are veterans who were involved in some sort of accident or some sort of incident that resulted in some type of disability. And if an individual with a disability is interested in this program, the program that they need to be kind of connected with is the state VR program, referred to as Michigan Rehabilitation Services. And if an individual is not currently connected with that organization, they can certainly reach out to us and we will help them with connecting with that organization so that they can participate.
So, just if I can clarify, so your program is paid before they even get employment, correct?
Yeah, so one of the things that we found with the janitorial training program, or just training programs in general, is people need income to survive. So spending 4 to 8 to 10 weeks of training, you need some income in there to pay the bills, to pay your rent and keep food on the table and that kind of thing. So one of the things that we've learned over the years is that we need to provide a stipend while people are participating. So the way we structure the program is we offer kind of that classroom hands-on training in the first part of the day, kind of in the morning. And in the afternoon, they're taking those skills that they learned and translating them into real work where we're able to pay them a stipend wage while they're participating in that training.
So when seeking employment, do you have contracts with the various entities that you typically work with to try to get your trainees, jobs with those companies?
Absolutely. So we have a couple of different avenues that we support job seekers in that transition from the training program to work. So one of the avenues is just supporting them through the job search process. We have many employers that contact us, know about our training program, have found really good luck, with the motivation, reliability, and dependability, with our job seekers. So when they have job openings, we're one of the first people that they call saying, hey, we have this job opening, these are the hours, this is the pay and the benefits. And as our job seekers kind of finish their program, we're looking at transportation, the hours that are being offered and looking kind of for that match. So that's one option. And then we also have some contracts where we are actually the employer and we're providing that janitorial service for a particular employee. And the job seeker is would potentially be or is an employee of JVS at that point.
Hey, so can I ask you? I know that we had someone on. It's been a few weeks with the I think Michigan Works, and one thing she was saying that now is really the time for people to seek jobs because the signing bonuses and the higher per dollar wage may be going away when that additional federal unemployment money runs out, because then you're going to have more people entering the workforce. So is now a good time to try to get those jobs, and can your trainees try to negotiate with the employers?
Absolutely. So you're touching on something that I don't think a lot of people know about, and that is, and you're right on target, that many of the state and federal incentives or supports that are out there for unemployment will be expiring this fall. And as those start to expire, we're going to see many, many job seekers kind of come into the market. And when they come into the market, they're all going to come into the market in the matter of a month or two. And we all know when the supply of job seekers is high and the supply of opportunities is low, that there's certainly going to be a shift. So you're right on target. If you're a job seeker and kind of on the fence right now of engaging in employment, this is certainly the time to do it, because those signing bonuses very well could start to kind of drive them, kind of move away. Those higher wages that employers are certainly offering right now, we're definitely going to see those start to kind of tail off. And the other piece is that you are correct. Yeah, employees are, kind of in quote unquote a power position right now. So that if that initial wage that is offered, from that employer isn't really what that job seeker is looking for, they are certainly in a great position right now to kind of negotiate a better wage.
We're talking with James Willis, the Vice President for the Workforce Development and Rehabilitation at JVS Human Services. James, before we say goodbye to you, how can people find out more information?
Absolutely. So if an individual or family member is interested in participating in our program and would like to get more information, there's a couple of routes you can do it. You can go to the JVS website, which is jvshumanservices.org, or you can just give us a call. The staff person that manages our janitorial training program, her name is Danita Love Carter, and she can be reached at our Detroit facility, and that number is 313-833-8100.
Well, James, we so appreciate your time, and thank you for all that you're doing to help get people back into the job force.
Thanks for having me today.